to run any business. The church is a business.
It is.
Do we not exchange currency in the church? Because we do.
We do.
So it goes hand in hand. You can't have one without the other, because if you don't have money in the church, it's not going to grow. You're not going to produce what you need to produce, nor is anything going to manifest, because you have to have seeds. You have to have, because it doesn't have to be financial. You have to have seeds in the ground. And if you're not producing anything in that building or in that space, it's not going to grow. So finances and ministry go hand in hand.
And the Bible does say, I can't verbatim, but it does say that money answers all things, but it's the love of money. Mm-hmm. The love of money. People leave out that part.
For the love of money.
The
love of money is the root of all evil.
The money is not the evil.
It's the love
of it. That you make the money your God. Mm-hmm.
Lusting after
can't
the
do
money.
that. So people get mad anytime I get the collection plate around the other side with a toothpick hanging out their mouth like the dude did on the movie. But anywho, but you know, all jokes aside. But explain, and how can we reach? How can we reach people and tell them about who Christ is and what he's doing in our life if we're not outside? In a loving way. Talk about it, Thomas.
Easy. You live it. You live it in your everyday demeanor, your everyday walk, your everyday talk, right? But I think we as a people are now conformed and constricted, if you will, to what people have in their pockets, what people are driving, what people are wearing, that dictates the level of success that they have. So then it becomes a spirit of competition, right? I see you driving a Mercedes or a BMW or an Audi and everything else. So in my head, outside looking in, I automatically assume that you got a lot of money. Not knowing you may drive that Audi, that BMW, and Mercedes, but you live in a trailer park or an apartment.
It's leased.
Or you're shaking some thighs to make sure you make the ends meet.
Right. So it's like
living in that car.
It's the perception. It is the perception of a thing that we have to get out of our minds, that says, okay, just because we see somebody living or perceiving to live one way, we can't automatically assume and try to conform and make that our lifestyle. Tasha told me this very thing and I didn't like it. And she says, we're not, you know how people always say, don't try to be like the Joneses? And she was like, you can't be like the Joneses, the Davises, the Washingtons, or anybody else.
Y'all the Wilsons.
We're the Wilsons.
Listen, and I heard the word in my spirit, just dropped in my spirit, coveting.
That's what it is.
You're coveting. When competition comes from a space of coveting, like, okay, that look nice, I want that.
And then you try to take action toward getting that which you have never actually been allowed to get.
Out of order.
She said something earlier that stuck with me. She said, we can't take, God gave us gifts to be used, not just to be sat on. Think about it this way. Christmas time, when you get a gift, 9 times out of 10, you don't take that gift and just put that gift and sit in the back under the tree when you get to the house or leave it in the trunk of the car. What do? You open the gift. What's the order? You unwrap the box. Depending upon how pretty the paper is, you might keep it, might not. And then you open the gift.
And give thanks.
And then depending upon what it is, you either take it out, use it, or if you like some people, you rewrap it back up and give it back to somebody else. Because that's what people do that. Regifting a gift. That's a whole word right there.
Oh, can you regift the gift?
Can you people try to regift the gift? Christ was the gift. And they tried to regift him, but he was the gift to the world because he died, buried, and rose for everybody. But what we do, instead of accepting him as a new gift and following and just using the gift for ourselves and spreading and giving that gift out, little bit at a time to everybody. We want to turn around and we want to re-gift it. Oh, I don't like it this way. Let me wrap this back up and try to give it to you another way. We can't do that. I'm gonna go back to your point. Ecclesiastes 10:19. I'm gonna read the whole scripture. A feast is prepared for laughter, and wine makes life merry, but money is the answer for everything.
That's it.
Money answereth all things. There was a song back in the day. I don't know who sung the song because I'm a church head. I'm not an R&B head. That says, love make the world go round. And then there was somebody else there that came out and said,
Tevin Campbell.
I don't know.
That was the 1900s too, wasn't it?
There was another song that came out that said, some people got to have it.
That's money, 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 money.
That word is
For
what?
the love of money.
For the love of money. That was the name of the song.
Yes.
There were
Right.
so many. What people do for money.
Right.
Chuck Brown, I need money. I need money, money, money. Oh, sorry.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Go.
We're
Sorry,
going
my
to put him on the baritone section in the praise team this week.
Are we gonna hear you tomorrow, sir?
Go down.
See you outside.
Yeah, DMV came out. That DMV came out. That's that go-go.
Go. It's a one shot. It's
Listen.
one off.
That one.
Just that one.
But why is it that we as a people have such a hard time when it comes to just the principle of money and the principle of loving everybody and each other without it being a hidden agenda? Where's the pureness of simply loving to love
Wow.
without wanting something in return?
Return.
We are a return people. When Walmart did away with the return policy a while back,
He was mad.
before they came back with it, America was upset.
Yes.
Why is America upset now? I'll tell you. Because Walmart did away with 24 hours a day. They did away with 24 hours. America is upset because you can't go to Walmart past 11 o'clock.
I'm mad because Walmart took the self-serve lanes and made them all
They did.
into 15 items or less.
What in the
nerve
world?
of it.
Sidebar, but what in the world?
So the wife and I immediately went in there with like 30 plus items.
I didn't see the sign
That part.
till I got there. And he was like, we here now. We are not getting out of this line. I said, yes, sir.
And then only have one line open with an actual person.
Right.
Part. Why?
We're all, yeah.
That's that AI.
That's it.
But when we turned around and saw the line behind us, the people who had 15 items or less,
It'd be
he
nice.
was like, ain't nobody worrying about that.
We here now.
Hey,
They gonna ring up these roads.
Cash
What
me
you trying
outside.
to do
if
to
we
me?
went forward, they think we're stealing. If we go backwards, people will be mad because we're hitting them with the shopping cart.
Right.
We're in a no-win situation. Bring it up.
15 items or less. Come on, Wally. What?
$200+
It's the whole situation out here in these streets.
Yeah, we got mad.
It is crazy.
They stop our coupons and say, sign up for these rewards. What are they doing? I'm so
Can you
confused.
put groceries on layaway?
Oh,
That'd
no.
be nice.
Oh, my.
You cannot. However, shout out to Walmart because Walmart did just start offering cash back.
Cash back.
Yes, cash back rewards. So download the Walmart app.
Look, don't
Are
be
we
doing
gonna get
commercials
endorsed?
for them.
Thank you. Are we gonna get a
Nobody-
piece
I'm trying.
We trying to
We just
monetize.
had the conversation about the money now.
Listen, use wisdom. Use wisdom. Lord, use
Wisdom
wisdom.
and
on the platform.
wisdom and
in the
knowledge.
hallway for the Walmart.
We can't do no reverse
Okay.
marketing and say, hey, Walmart, we talked about you. Can you pay us later?
The secret's out.
The secret is out. Listen, I'm telling you, love, communication, and money, all subjects of power couple relationships. What else?
And that's the main reason why and you know, I had to think. We hadn't had y'all on before, have we?
This is the first time. We've been on their show.
Yeah, y'all been
This
on
is
mine.
the first time.
Yeah.
This is fun.
We have been slipping. Our apologies.
No, they've been busy.
But then I kept thinking about
Right.
it. It's like, Kimmy and I are a couple. We do business together.
I do.
You two are a couple. You do business together. And I felt like, between the two of us, because, we're
which is full.
see, I'm gonna use the Thomas.
Come
math.
on.
I'm gonna use the Thomas math on this one.
Talk.
It's four of us, but between the two of us,
There, come on, make it plain.
because as a couple we are one, so we are two couples. Ergo, the two.
There it is.
See what I did there? Okay, I went full circle to get back to that.
Full circle, plug it again, plug it again. Plug it again.
You know, because we are that couple, and I talk so much trash, I forgot where I was going with this.
2 plus
We all
2
do
is
business
4.
together. We're
do
just not-
business.
you guys are just not having us on your show.
People.
We have
2 plus 7 is 5.
2 plus 2 is 5.
we have wisdom to impart, you know, and from my perspective, and I can't think of a time we might have a conflicting way of doing things when it comes to either some events that we do. We might disagree on how we can arrive at the end goal, but we always come together and make it work.
Come on.
And, you know, that is only possible when, as couples, we're working as a unit regardless.
That's good.
You know what I mean? And so it's something that, you know, we can give to others and say, hey, look, don't believe what everybody says when they say that people who are in relationships should not do business together.
Yeah.
Because that's a falsehood. That's a scare tactic. For some reason, I don't know who started that and why that has become the common theme amongst people in general.
It's an incomplete statement.
But it can work.
People who are in relationships should not do business together if they're not putting God first. And do not have communication and do not know who they are as individuals before they got there, and do not know how to communicate with one another once they get there, and have respect for one another. Those that, you know, this is an incomplete statement. You can't do business with anybody. A relationship is a relationship.
Period.
The difference for us is we are married. We are
in
married.
marriage, you have to be sure that you have the right partner.
Yes.
I was just getting ready to say, and marriage is what?
Work.
A partnership.
And it's a partnership. That's what it is.
Yes.
It's a give and take. It's a compromise.
And vows before God.
It is serious work. The marriage, the wedding was great.
What you gonna do after that?
The wedding was great. The honeymoon was great as well. However, the real work begins after all of that. Me and Tasha have been married. It'll be 10 years in October.
Glory.
Never thought I would see it. Never thought I would see it. But God had other plans.
He gonna cry in the car, y'all.
I'm not. No, don't do me. Catch me outside.
He'll cry now if he wanted to.
If I want
I was
to.
going to say, I'm looking for the tissue.
Catch me outside. Ain't nothing in here. But it was because, and I say that from the standpoint of, because even though we had healthy disagreements, healthy conversations, some ugly, like some real dope, you know what I'm saying, gut punch conversations with me and her, where I said what I wanted to say, she said what she wanted to say, you know what I'm saying, no physical violence involved, but it was just that just to the point of, listen, like, we have to do this together, and we had to come to this right here, and this remains a focal point for us. Out is not an option.
That's it.
No matter how ugly it gets, no matter how many times I may want to talk about money and bills and church and everything else like that, I have to understand out is not an option. No matter how much she may be like, all right, well, listen, we're gonna chill at the house today. I don't want to chill at the house today. I work from home. I'm trying to be outside.
I get it. Yeah.
I'm trying to go outside and be in somebody's face and stay in their face, and then I come home whenever. That's me. But I had to understand. I have to be able to sleep peacefully at night next to her. Right? The Bible says it this way: don't let the sun go down on your wrath. In other words, I'll put it in
Go to
English.
bed angry.
Exactly. Do not go to bed upset, angry, and mad. We always go to bed every night with saying, I love you.
That's what's up.
We have to do it. As I love you, kiss, go to sleep, or whatever else may happen. But it's a whole notion of having to be mindful of the fact that This is who God gave me.
I'm gonna be the voice of this new generation. Oh man, you soft. Man, you soft.
Call it what you want.
It's but it, no, I, you know, and
No.
It's
But
funny
that's what they do.
that this generation looks at showing emotion to your significant other as being soft. I'm still trying to figure out how that happened.
Right, come on.
I mean, I know why. Because this new generation doesn't want to be in relationships. They would
be
rather
in
be with this one, that
situationship.
one, and the other, and
They
be
wanna
as
be alone
Affion
and
Crockett said.
entanglements.
They want to be outside all the time. And his skit, oh boy, he never mind. I can't say some of what he, but it was just funny. Let's just
He
put it
roughed
that
out.
way. And you know, it's sad that it's viewed as that way.
Yeah.
There's not the work, and to me, the best work in a relationship is something that doesn't actually feel like work.
Just like a
That's when
regular
you know
job.
it's real. Exactly.
If you go to-
love
you
your
go to-
job,
there it is.
the work that you do does not feel like work. You just go there, you do it, you're happy, you're
get
fulfilled, you get paid, you get rewarded by knowing that you did it and
Come on.
did it to the best of your ability, and you go home to the one that you love and you do the same thing.
It's levels to it. There's a
It's
difference between
levels
having
to
a
this.
job or a career
There it is. Come on.
or your own business.
Come on. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Yes. 'cause it ain't easy out here.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all entrepreneurs in the room. Right
And shout out to you and the missus, sir, for having the next generation of entrepreneurs on your show.
Yes, y'all, we can't leave the baby out.
Yes,
The
yes,
babies,
yes.
babies,
You brought
babies.
on some young entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Young entrepreneurs.
Young entrepreneurs.
Yes.
The young harmony.
Listen, I wanted to showcase the next generation.
You got one on, don't you?
I do. Yeah. Shout out. Shout out, Black Girl Break.
Cameras over there, sir.
Shout out, Black Girl Break. Right here. You know what I'm saying? With Jesus right there in the middle. Made by Harmony. Because I wanted to showcase the young entrepreneurs podcast, the show that I did this afternoon, because I wanted to showcase what they do and to understand that it's more for children, because with what they have inside of them, and especially for us as a parent. I am 37, but I grew up around 50, 60-year-olds. So I have an old soul. And
We know.
it's easy for me.
Suits told it all, didn't help it.
Over there. Yeah. It was so easy.
Find out a picture.
No, do it. It was, I got some. It was so easy for me when I first started parenting with Shania, my oldest, to be able to say, go sit down, be quiet, stay at a child's place. Because that's what we were taught.
Not these kids today.
We were
kids.
taught that. We were taught that has no voice. You have no opinion.
Get out of
You do what I tell you to do, and don't ask no questions. And that was the end of it.
Seen and not heard.
And so now, this new generation, I had
That's
to
why a
understand.
lot of us are messed up now.
there wasn't a balance.
Seen and not heard.
You be like, what?
Mom, I got a voice too. My mom want to sing too.
But again, here comes the word balance again.
Right.
The balance between gentle parenting and tough love. You know, it's
There's
just
a
like do what I say, not what I do. While I go sit down over there. You better not smoke no cigarettes. And you better not drink no alcohol. You know, that type of thing. I mean, it's real. We survive. We survive. And some of us may have come up, you know, in sanctified homes, but there was still a level of communication that didn't happen. I noticed coming up that a lot of, when we were talking about your natural man, your natural person, you being fed spiritually, you can memorize and run down scriptures all day. But if you ask a little girl about her growth and her puberty or her, you know, when she comes into her womanhood, or a young man, when he starts to have sensations or whatever, those conversations are not being had. And that's where the confusion comes in, and young people start to have conversations amongst themselves. Or there's that predator that might hear that the children don't have a voice, and they come in and they lead them astray and tell them what they want them to know so that they can recruit, while we out here trying to make disciples and we missing the babies in our own home. We have to disciple. Shout out to Minister Corey Bye Storm. We just recorded a video with him today, and I just thank God, because even in the midst of recording that video, there was an altar call, and it was a blessing to witness his own daughters come to Christ in the call to salvation. So we rejoice for that. But you know, it's real, because you know, our children, if we listen to them now, a lot of them are wise beyond their years, because we are imparting some things into them. But what is the balance? What is the balance of shh, be quiet, child? Because we talked about, as a couple, I don't want to talk about that right now, but can you tell the child that?
Come on.
In my opinion, no, you cannot, because kids are so eager to learn. They want to soak everything up. Everything that we say, they're listening to. They're holding on to every word that we say. And if we're saying it to hurt them, they take it as offense. If we're saying it to uplift them, a lot of them, they'll take it and they'll run with it, and they'll start their own businesses. They'll, you know, bring their friends to Christ. They'll do whatever they need to do. But in the generation of, like you said, be seen but not heard, it's time out for that, because there's so many kids out here dying because they're seen and they're not being heard. Mommy, little Johnny touched me in my sugar dish. What is a sugar dish?
Tell them what it is.
You need
now.
to tell your kids what body parts are, so that if predators, like you said, come to them, they can accurately say what's going on.
Right.
You touched my sugar dish is telling me you was hungry and somebody touched your food.
That won't hold up in a court of law.
It does not. So we need to be my favorite word now is, I want to be my child's advocate. We are our children's best advocates. We have to be the ones that when no one wants to listen to them, we hear them. It doesn't matter if we like what they say, because most times we don't like what they say.
What they're talking about.
But we need to hear them.
Right.
And say, this is what I heard you say. I heard you say so-and-so is going down at school, so let's go handle this. I hear you say so-and-so wanted to meet you outside and tried to fight you, so let's go handle this. Not that, oh, there's an issue, but no, I don't want to deal with it. No, we can't do that. Not in this day and age, no.
It comes down to a lesson that I learned when I first started parenting. I met Shania when she was 8. And yeah.
No.
And it was 9, 8 or 9. Okay. And it was very, very interesting for me coming into a relationship with Tasha, who had already had a child. Because as a man, I had told myself, nah, I'm not dating a female already with kids. No.
I had a child, not a kid.
Right.
There's a difference.
But that's the mindset of a man, is to not date. A lot of men will not date a female who has a child or kids or anything else to that, because it's just like, it's one of those, like, you are like you already got your person. Where do I fit in, right? And this one right here didn't really apply to me. That ain't my child,
Right.
So what am I gonna do?
That's basically the story of our relationship.
Okay.
When I met her in 2005,
I had 3.
we hit it off great. You know, we got along fine. I knew that she had kids. It's not like I didn't want to be with someone who had kids, but that was my very first relationship with a woman who already had kids. I didn't know how to handle it. I admitted that to her. I just did not know how to handle it.
Yeah.
And we remain
I think
friends.
that's kind of what drove the distance between us, but we always remained friends. And I told her flat out, it was my fault, because it's not like I wasn't mature enough. It was just, I couldn't wrap my brain around how to be in this relationship with someone who already had children.
Yeah. It's
And
a whole different mindset.
it didn't come to me.
So in the sense of parenting, I really had to learn, and Tasha had to teach me this one along with some good leaders at the time, of children are simply little adults that have a voice, and they're going to grow up one day, and it's good to go ahead and listen to them while they're young, and don't squash everything that comes out of their mouth. That's what the Bible says, and a child shall lead them. So it was definitely very, very interesting. And I remember Tasha told me with Shania, she was like, you can't parent her the way that you was parented. She said, because she's different. And you have to be able to meet her where she is, but love and respect her. And as time went on and I really learned and embraced that process, now we have a great relationship. Oh, it's at work. But we have a great relationship now.
That's awesome.
But I really, really had to understand that parents, if you are inside of a blended family, don't make the mistake that I did of if you guys have a child together outside of the child that you came into the relationship with, where you throw that child away. Don't do that. I made that mistake. I threw my child away, per se. How did I do that? I'll clean that up.
Okay.
I was, oh, hey, da-da-da. I pretty much treated her like a visitor instead of my child, because my attention was focused on my biological child.
Wow.
That I had, right? Versus the blessing, not the bonus child, but the blessing that God had already given me with Tasha and Shania. And so it was really, really interesting to me to watch the evolution of myself, how I evolved from go sit down. Now it's, hey, what you want to eat? What you want to eat today? You know, giving your space, your voice, because you are a person.
Yeah, and as we become the elders,
Right.
what we poured in is going to come out.
Absolutely.
And I'm first partaker of that myself. What I poured in is what I'm getting out. And, you know, we can't do everything right because children don't come with a handbook. But what we can do is, like we said from the beginning of this show and throughout this show, is to keep God first. And if you don't know God, get to know him so that you can have a strong foundation. And that is how you establish love. Because love is the answer. Love is the key to everything. It unlocks the doors to the communication. Love will help you to manage your finances.
It will, yeah.
Love will help you to agree to disagree and not argue and respect one another, whether it be between the two of you or between the two of you and the children or between the two of you and your business associates. It is evident in you, and I thank God for you. And before we go, I just want to make sure that we get the last jewel from you. What did you get out of this show that you can tell the world on tonight on the ChynaGroove Podcast? Sister Tasha, what would you tell people from this show that you got? I hope we pour back in the
To develop your relationships, all types of relationships that you have, whether it be with your children, your significant other, your friendships, your customers, your business. You need to develop those relationships so you know how to cultivate and nurture those relationships. So you know how to talk to people. So you know how to love people. So you know their love language. And that's in all aspects, because you don't want to be misused, nor do you want to be mishandled. But you also don't want to misuse somebody else or mishandle them also. So learn to cultivate your relationships, and it'll all come full circle in the end.
There it is.
Love it.
I love it.
And what's your last jewel?
Absolutely. Listen again. So before we jump into the last jewel, thank you guys so much for having us on your illustrious podcast.
It's our pleasure.
You know it.
Long overdue.
Indeed.
Very long
This
overdue.
moment tonight is the beginning of many. For this, like our relationship, and I'm gonna give the jewel. Our relationship has grown leaps and bounds over the years in every area. Because we all do business together. Listen, if y'all need a sound guy, who does all things production, all things media, and we'll get your production just right, your pictures and your life together, media wise. DJ Groove, Derek Washington,
But remember,
is the man.
handle.
Listen,
That's
don't
the handle.
because when you feel it right here, and you put your hand on your heel. Don't do it this way because you're cuffing the mic. But if you put your hand right here, you can hear plainly. But if you put your hand down here, this is the antenna.
Did you hear that?
You can't put your hand on the antenna because it's blocking the sound. But yeah, I got it. So amen. Praise the Lord. I got it. Thank
Good
you so
teaching.
much. I
Good
love
teaching.
you. Last rule. Take time to effectively listen to each other, right? And don't just listen to respond, but listen with intent. And as my wife always say, when you're communicating with each other, if you want the right response, use your inside voice, not your outside voice.
Because we ain't
When you're having a conversation, because we ain't outside. This ain't a catch me outside moment. Use your inside voice and say what you're going to say in love and respect. And then you won't have to worry about having to have space.
You see it. Wilson and Wilson Consulting on the job while they on the podcast. We were just about to ask where they can find you for all things Wilson and Wilson.
Shut up, wife. See?
But it's on the screen. You see it. Wilson and Wilson Consulting on Facebook. The Oil and Water Lifestyle on Facebook. Full Circle Beauty Consulting on Facebook. And at Modestly Adorned. Listen. Everything you need is right here in the room. It's in the room. Yes. I am a witness and glad to be a partaker of all of the love.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whoa.
okay.
Oh my.
That's Kurt Franklin, not Kurt Franklin.
Mental note to self: make sure his volume is low tomorrow.
On tomorrow. Yes, good people. Listen, we want to thank you guys so much for everything that you do. We can't thank you enough for your love, your insight. My jewel is discernment. Like, from what everything that you two said was discernment. God, give me the discernment to be able to listen with intent. To be able to listen for understanding, because I can hear what you're saying. I can hear the words that are coming out of your mouth. But if they all come up and just go like that in front of me, then it's not going to pierce my heart. It's just going to go in my brain and I'm going to hear what I want to hear. But if you listen with understanding and discernment, that is the key. That's love. And that is peace.
Yes.
Which is a blessing from God himself.
Come on.
What about you, sir?
What I learned here today.
Come on, Deacon. You better stop playing with it.
Is if you go outside,
Put an organ at.
be prepared for what the outside brings you.
Ain't that the truth?
You've got to prepare yourself.
Come on.
Go outside for the right reasons.
Ooh.
Don't just go outside to be outside. Go outside to enjoy outside because you have enjoyed life inside as well.
Oh, come on. Balance.
Balance.
Come on.
Yes, because there's nothing wrong with outside. People act like these days that going outside is this new thing. And nobody else used to go outside.
Come on, we used to be
Newsflash,
drinking
we used to
water
go outside all day long,
Yeah.
drinking water from the water hose. Because if you ran in and out of the door, what'd they say? You got one choice. Either outside or the next time you come in, you're going to be inside.
You get the right mama, she gonna lock you outside.
Exactly.
And let my good air out.
So we know what outside is like. Outside now is taking on negative connotations because people
Outside.
Come outside your phone.
that's the outside that needs to be happening. Come outside of your phone
Come on.
so you can enjoy the outside that God made. I'll leave it at that.
You got a free dinner.
Y'all get the collection plate around the Come on, sir.
Oh, I don't have an air horn. Yes, thank you. I thought that up
Come
on.
outside your phone.
Come outside your phone.
Yep.
That's a whole nother.
And go outside your home.
Uh-huh.
Bars.
Rhymes.
Come on.
Take a vacation.
So when you gonna drop that, sir?
I just did.
They gonna have to play it back tomorrow.
DJ Groove
tomorrow.
mixtape coming soon.
And by the way, all beats and music that you hear in the background is made by yours truly, D Groove. You can catch it at ChynaGroove Production at Outlook.com for your music delight.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to you live from North Carolina studio. You see it in the lights, barely. We're right here in Jonesboro, which is in Sanford, North Carolina, better known as Lee County, North Carolina. If you want to be a guest on our show, email us at ChynaGroove
Productions at Outlook.com.
We have ChynaGroove Show at Outlook.com, ladies and gentlemen.
Because he played too much.
To
He
be
got
a
too many
guest on the
emails.
show. Now, see, the show, here's my thinking. ChynaGroove Show is if you want to be on
The show.
the show.
And the other one.
ChynaGroove Production is if you want to partake
And a production.
in the production
Come
of
on, teach.
the ChynaGrooveness.
And that is the benediction, y'all.
I love it.
Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for commenting. Please click tag and share. Subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe. This has been another fantastic. Y'all like that? Fantastic
I love it.
Said fantastic.
episode of a ChynaGroove Show podcast.
And it's about that time of the show where it is.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap, it's a wrap, it's a wrap, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, it's a wrap, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, it's a wrap, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, it's a wrap, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, it's a wrap, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, it's a wrap, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, it's a wrap, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, it's a wrap.